Hi everyone, welcome to episode 14 of Music is None of Our Business, the first post Instagram going bonkers edition. So, any new listeners, this is not a professional podcast. Believe me, this is definitely anything but a professional podcast, so be aware. But to everyone who is listening for the first time on a new podcast and is joined because of Instagram, hello, we welcome you. Thank you for tuning in. Also, need to say hello to the guys over in America on the greatest playlist ever, DJ Substance and Brooklyn Pete, who always mention us on their podcast, and I always forget because I forget to write it down. And then, in fact, my list for tonight is just the lists of the album titles. I was going to do notes, and I thought, what's the point? I know these ones so well. I'll probably still waffle on and everything. So the tonight's subject is albums of 1997. Oh, cat just ran across. See, that's how professional I got. Cats running across my desk. Albums of 1997, and do you think we'll cross over?
I think it's improbable, but possible.
Have you gone for obscurities?
No, not really. I think I've got quite a mixed bag this time round, and none of them, well, one or two of them might be totally non-mainstream, but they're not obscure.
Yeah, I must have looked through every single album released that year. It was a weird one because I had four that I thought they've all got to go in, and then I had a massive backup list, and I couldn't make them. I've been listening to stuff all day today, and I've kind of got my five now, and I've got one extra just in case. Although it's a little bit of a cheaty one.
Oh, a cheaty one.
Yeah. I'll explain if you do one of the same ones as me, I'll use it and I'll explain then. But it is a bit of a cheat.
Well, it's interesting you say that because one of mine is
you've cheated as well, haven't you?
Is a little cheaty. It would be interesting. It wouldn't surprise me enormously if that was one that we both had.
Cheaty as in really cheaty, like it was released in 1897 rather than 1997.
Yes, it is bark.
Just that
yes,
you're just pretending that it was an LP.
Neither of those. It does pass muster. It will fit into 1997. There are legitimate reasons for it to do so.
Fair enough.
So we shall see.
Okay, well, I'll look forward to it.
Well, and you
bollocks and try and justify getting that. Well, yeah, true.
You've already admitted your cheat as well.
So shall I go first?
You certainly can. Yes.
Okay, so my first one for 1997 is so obvious.
Radiohead.
Because it is fucking it's because it's one of the greatest records ever made. And yes, Radiohead, OK Computer. Had you picked that?
I thought about it. I knew you would pick it. You're a bigger fan of Radiohead than I am, but I do love that album. But I didn't pick it, one, because I got albums that I got as alternative, and two, because I was pretty sure you'd go for it.
Yeah. It is one of the greatest LPs ever made. It's just faultless. There's not a duff second on it, and I think the thing I was thinking about, is the fact that I'm going to make a complete tits of explaining this, but you can listen to it on any given day, and if especially through headphones, and you'll hear something you've never heard before, despite having listened to it for 100,000 times. There's always something there. It's so layered. There are so many things going on in that bloody album, in every single track, apart from the fitter, happier, there's not a lot going on in that, apart from someone doing a really bad Stephen Hawking impression. But the rest of it, there's just so much. And it just crosses genres, like, you've got little jazzy bits, you've got punky bits, you've got proggy bits. You've got indie bits. There's just everything in that. It's like it's like going for a full English breakfast and ordering everything on the menu. Having black pudding on there and bubble and squeak and
Oh,
fried
you'd
bread
never
and
have black
toast.
pudding on it, for goodness sake.
Don't you like black pudding?
No, well, I was a vegetarian for 6 years, and although my
but you're not now.
vegetarianism has slipped, I think that's still pushing it.
Black pudding's
What?
lovely.
What?
But anyway, yes. So perhaps that wasn't the best food analogy I've ever done, but it is. There's just so much to it. The songs is just. I mean, I could listen to that every day. I just think it's such a majestic LP. It's just amazing.
Yeah,
Absolutely amazing.
it's good, and I mean, it's got some fine stuff on it, and there's no doubt in the musicianship and Tom York's abilities as a crafter of songs. No doubt about it. I think I prefer Kid A to OK Computer, but as I say, it is undoubtedly a very fine record indeed. Have you ever seen? Have you seen Radiohead?
I think. No,
that is shocking.
I'm really, really annoyed. Well. They played at. They used to play at the Junction in Cambridge quite regularly. They were like support bands a few times there, and at that time, see the thing with Radiohead, I liked Creep and I liked that other early single, and then I bought Pablo Honey and I hated it. I thought it was rubbish. I really didn't like it at all at that time. So the Bends kind of passed me by a little bit. So I didn't go, and so they played Cambridge Corn Exchange, and I didn't go. Although my friend who I was going to gigs with at that time insists that I did go, but and that we got really really pissed. But I've never been that pissed. I've forgotten the entire concert. I know you have.
Oh, lots of times.
I've never been that. So I've never seen. And then I think I tried to get tickets for I think they played the O2 a few years ago, and the tickets just went whoop.
Oh yeah, it would now, yeah.
And then these tickets, I didn't even get on the list on the ballot.
Right.
So I didn't get so no, I've never seen live. And my ex-wife Karen, she was actually at Glastonbury at OK Computer Year.
Oh, really?
When they did that set that kind of went down in history.
Yeah.
And she saw that and she said it was just amazing. Although she said she was on top hill miles away and off her tits had a big spliff or something. I don't know. So hopefully mum and dad would never listen to this, but yeah, no, they won't.
It must have added to it. It must have added to the whole experience.
Yes, and she said it was absolutely amazing. Although she probably said that just to annoy me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so no, never have seen them, and yeah, really. So if any of the new listeners have any access to tickets to see Radiohead, hello.
Are they still officially, technically playing together?
Yeah, I think they had a hiatus.
Yeah, and Tom York had done quite a lot of solo stuff.
I've seen The Smile a couple of times, and they're fantastic live. Yeah, they're really good. And the records they've released have been pretty spot on as well. But I think Radiohead, I think they got to a point where they kind of had a chat with each other and said, God, we ain't done anything for ages. And everyone went, well, let's have a go. So they went and did a rehearsal. It went well. So they said, okay, let's book some dates.
Okay.
And that's how that's come about.
Oh,
so
there you go. Yeah. One of my very tenuous claims to association with Radiohead. I used to work with somebody whose brother helped build Tom York's studio, apparently, which is about as tenuous as you can get.
Can you ring him, see if he can get me a ticket?
Get you to look through his studio window because he knows where it is.
Yeah, well, he might have some tickets laying around in the studio. You never know. Oh God, the days of paper tickets. They're long gone, aren't they?
I've still got a big box of mine up in the attic somewhere, I think. I
kept
a lot of them. Just for kind of nostalgia's sake. I always thought, when I'm retired, I'll sit with a tartan blanket over my knees, stinking of piss, watching daytime telly and leafing through my old tickets. And here I am, best part of 2 years retired, and I've not even thought about
Stinking
getting
of piss.
stinking a bit still. Yeah, absolutely. Tartan blanket, but not even thought about getting down those.
No, do you know I had a ticket when we went to see Stone Roses at Spike Island. We were given tickets and backstage passes, and they never took the counterfoil off my ticket.
Ah.
And I kept the ticket and the backstage pass for years, and then put them on eBay a few years ago. I made 250
Good
quid.
God. What are
just
people
for
going to do with them?
I don't know. Perhaps it was. Perhaps I'm pretty sure the guy was a time traveller and was going back to Spike Island, but didn't have a ticket. You know, I should have said, "Look, if you can go forward in time as well, get me a ticket."
Radiohead. Now that would have been a contact to make, wouldn't it?
Oh man,
Good grief.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
But yes. So anyway, number one, Radiohead, OK Computer.
Well, I can't disagree with that one.
Over to you.
Can't disagree with that one.
My glamorous assistant.
Your glamorous assistant. Fantastic. Well, my first pick, in no particular order, these again is one that I would describe as majestic, in a similar kind of vein, and it's "Ladies and Gentlemen, We Are Floating in Space."
Fucking hell.
Is that one you've got?
Right, yes, I'll just cross that off the bloody list. As soon as you said majestic, I knew it was that.
Absolutely fucking storming, beautiful, majestic, massive, glorious space rock epic. Third studio album from Spiritualized, and absolutely fabulous. Such a huge sound, because you've got the Balanescu Quartet in there, you've got a gospel choir in there, horns, and Jason Pierce.
He threw everything.
He threw everything at it, and
he threw everything at that,
and his body and soul as well. Every single track
totally.
is absolutely soaked in pain and anguish, and the torments not only of his long struggle with drugs, but also
just like our podcasts.
The torment of something. God, the torment of not having drugs when you're listening to this crap. I pity you. Yes, but his long history of struggling with drugs, but also his recent breakup with keyboardist Kate Radley, who I think he always said it was nothing to do with the way the songs on Ladies and Gentlemen turned out, this huge epic of love lost and pain, because he said much of it was written before they split up. But, you do get a sense of a connection there. His pain is authentic. It's the third album, of course, after Laser Guided Melodies and Pure Phase, both of which are awesome records. I think Spacemen 3 were quite good, Jason Pierce's first band, or his previous band. But when he formed Spiritualized, it took on a whole new dimension. It's absolutely fantastic. It's at their peak. And every track on there is amazing. They all have this quality of deep emotion. As I said already, I think, that genuine pain, coupled with the references continuously to drugs and this huge epic sound, it's just brilliant. I saw them do it live. I went to see them on the tour live, and it was breathtaking. Spiritualized always did a great light show as well. It was one of their hallmarks. I've seen them a couple of times, but the light show for this tour wasn't necessary. It was turned down a bit, I think, because the spectacle and the sound that enveloped you was just everything you needed. Just awesome, breathtaking, especially Cool Waves. Best track on there, Cool Waves, absolute business. It is sublime. Yes, but you got a lot of people on there. Dr. John is on there as well on the last track, Cop Shoot Cop. Have you any idea why they called the last track Cop Shoot Cop? Because it was
it's a drug reference, isn't it?
It was named after a US industrial rock band. Is that also a drug reference?
Yeah, no, it's cop your drugs, shoot up, cop more drugs.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's education being your glamorous assistant. It truly is.
Well, there you go. I don't know how. I tell you why I know that, because I saw Spiritualized live. It was after that It was after that.
Songs in A&E.
Yeah, yes, I think it was. I think it was Songs in A&E, and they started with Cop Shoot Cop, and it was 20 minutes of just thrash and feedback and maelstrom, and it was absolutely glorious. If I'm perfectly honest, I was never a big fan. I was a fan, but they weren't top of my list of priorities band wise. Spacemen 3 kind of passed me by a bit. I liked Playing with Fire. I thought that was good, but again, I mean, we're back in the 90s, pre-internet, pre-streaming, pre being able to listen to anything you wanted to do. You had to spend your money wisely on the records you wanted rather than all of the records you wanted. So I never really got that much into Spacemen 3 other than that particular LP. And then again, Karen, my ex-wife, she was a big fan of Spiritualized, and she took me to, it was her idea to go and see them. We went to see them at the Corn Exchange in Cambridge, and that was, I was blown away. I'd not listened to the first two LPs, I don't think, but I'd listened to Ladies and Gentlemen, and I thought, oh, that's pretty good actually. But when you hear them live, you then go back and revisit everything, and it's completely different experience, isn't it? And we saw them again a few years after, back at the Junction, which is a much smaller venue, and that was pretty stunning as well. In a smaller venue. Imagine the bloody racket. No wonder my ears are cut these days.
Yeah, I went to see them about 2 years ago, year and a half ago, 2 years ago. In Nottingham. It was a smaller place, and forewent a lot of the flashy stuff. But again, it was just the sound was enough. It's just so fantastic.
Yeah.
And Cop Shoot Cop, they did that as well. And like you say, 20 minutes of just flashing lights and noise and cacophony.
Yeah.
But it is on the album. It's 17 minutes on the album. It just deteriorates into that. Yeah, it's great. It's great. And then, of course, with that album as well, you got the very cool packaging.
Yes, absolutely.
Prescription blister pack with the medication information sheet inside that details all the side effects and the dosage of listening to it and so on. It's very clever, very cleverly done.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, brilliant, good choice. Well, obviously good choice because I picked it as well. So I've crossed mine off. So my number 2 is probably another obvious one, Young Team by Mogwai. Mogwai, my favourite band, probably my favourite band in the world at this moment in time. I absolutely adore Mogwai, and I remember buying this and just thinking, "Whoa, man, this is something."
I was going to say at the outset, you're going to mention Radiohead and Mogwai.
Yeah,
because I knew you would.
I mean, this was a proper. I always look at this as a bit of a game changer for me, really, because I think Mogwai took everything about post rock, and then just turbocharged it, really. And I can remember the first time hearing Mogwai Fear Satan on this LP, and it was like, jeepers, this is something else, And I saw them for the first time a year later in '98. They supported the Manic Street Preachers.
Oh goodness.
At Kettering Arena.
Oh, Kettering Arena? Kettering doesn't have an arena.
Overselling it a tiny bit. Kettering Sports Hall.
Capacity 400.
Is a bit more like it. But yeah, Kettering Arena. And they just, I mean, it was just stunning. The noise was incredible. And all the Manics fans, I was a Manics fan at the time, and all the Manics fans just ran for the bar. There was just this exodus as soon as they started, as soon as they hit those pedals, and I just remember Mogwai Fear Satan from that, and I kind of knew I'd gone with some friends from work, and I knew what was coming. I knew it was like really, really quiet, really quiet, down to a whisper, and then all of a sudden, whoa! This fucking roar, which still even when I see them live these days, that roar just gives me goosebumps. You know, it's tremendous. I mean, I'm pretty sure they've played. I've seen them. I think I've seen them 8 times now.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure they've done Mogwai Fear Satan every time. Yeah, never fails to get the juices flowing. That one, it's phenomenal, and they're such a good band. There were so many other good tracks on there as well. You know, there were kind of there were a couple of throwaway tracks. I mean, I think I don't think it's my favourite Mogwai LP, but I think it's the one that means the most to me. You know, it's the one where I discovered. You know, when I discovered the greatest band in the world.
What was that their first album?
That was their first album.
I didn't know if there was anything before that.
There was some singles, and there was a compilation of singles, and I can't remember whether it came out before or after.
There was 1997. It was 10 hastily collected tracks or something. It was called, I think.
It was. I can't remember what it's called now. I wasn't expecting to be asked, so I hadn't.
Don't make excuses.
10
rapid collected recordings.
10 rapid.
Yes,
that's it. 10 rapid. Yeah. That's a great compilation as well. But this was, you know, I think Summer. I mean, they still play Summer. They still play Like Herod. They still play Mogwai Fear Satan. They still play Are You Still Into It? You know, a lot of the songs from this album still turn up in set lists. But yeah, Mogwai Fear Satan is definitely the one I'll put on the playlist. You know, I have got a video. I think I recorded the whole fucking thing. Last time I saw them in Cambridge, we ended up on the barrier for some reason. I think we were watching. I wanted to watch Brainiac because Brainiac had reformed and were playing. And then these two guys were watching them, and then they left, and there was a space at the barrier, so we just stood and hung on the barrier and just watched. So I had my mobile phone and recorded the whole thing.
Oh no!
Just so I could rewatch that money shot.
Right.
You know, the click. Whoa,
There's a whole debate to be had there about whether it's appropriate or acceptable or tolerable to be having your phone out filming gigs when you're at gigs.
Well, my reason for that was because I was at the front and I wasn't pissing anyone off.
Okay.
And I had a really good camera angle as well. So I thought, right, that's fair because I'm not in anyone's way. I'm not one of these twats who's like, ooh. I mean, I do videos at gigs and I do take photographs nowadays because it's nice. It's just nice to have a little memory, isn't it? But
a little memory.
I try not to. I'm not that kind of person who's recording the whole bloody thing.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
watching it on the screen.
Not like the kids. The youth, the bloody youth, and their bloody mobile phones. It does get on my tits.
It gets on my tits a bit. Yeah. But that kind of thing, just enjoy the moment. We used to enjoy gigs when we didn't film them. I don't know why we need to film them to enjoy them now. Because do you watch the videos back again?
No, but I think if we'd have had the capabilities to do it, I think we probably would have done it back then. You know, it's like anything.
I'd have been too drunk.
Well, they're always filming it. They won't. Well, yeah, you would. You'd be just like pictures of you going in the camera. Honestly,
at least I might have remembered some of the gigs I've been to. Then I suppose it would have had.
That's very true. Yes,
anyway. Yes.
I should say that music is none of our business. Do not condone the use of drugs or excessive intake of alcohol.
We are getting too professional.
We've got to be responsible now. It's not just our mums and dads and mates listening to the podcast. There's fucking people all over the place tuning in going. And they're probably by now thinking, what the fuck am I listening to?
We better do some risk assessments.
Yeah, it's health and safety gone mad. Yeah, what we need is an XHR.
Don't start. Don't start. Oh dear. Right. Okay.
So that was Mogwai, young team. I don't know whether I should have spoke a bit more about Mogwai, who they are. I think everyone knows. I assume that everyone knows that they're a Scottish post-rock band formed in 95, 96. make extraordinarily noisy but beautiful LPs.
I don't know what people
But maybe
know.
they don't.
I don't know what people
but now
know.
they do. No. I know you because you always go into so much. You always go into so much detail. You kind of talk in a linear pattern where I'm all over the place because I got the ADHD and everything. So one of these by episode 25, I would imagine my meds will finally be here. I might be able
You're
to
hoping.
construct a fucking
You're
sentence.
hoping. You need to tick it to Wes Streeting's house to talk to him about it. I think if he's still about by then.
I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
True.
Anyway, okay. So my number 2, change of tack and into realms different to that which we've covered already, and it is a second album from Mancunians Ed Simons and Tom Rowlands, otherwise known as the Chemical Brothers.
Chemical Brothers.
Indeed.
I looked at that and thought, don't like it as much as the first album. The first album's my favourite.
It's a difficult one. It's a toss up. But I do think "Dig Your Own Hole." I think that my least favourite track on "Dig Your Own Hole" is "Block Rocking Beats," and that was obviously the big big hit. Yeah.
See, I liked was the Noel Gallagher one on this?
Sadly. I don't like the Gallaghers. I don't like Oasis.
Got on my tits.
But it's a good track. I think it's still a good track. Some of the other stuff.
I think I overheard that, and I think it's kind of has coloured my view of the LP. Sorry, I'm taking.
That's all right. No, it's a
discussion.
It's a discussion. You shouldn't go to all these shady nightclubs and all-nighters, then you wouldn't have overheard it. You see, you should have been tucked up in bed, ready for work the next morning. But no, I mean, Big Beat and that whole genre, that whole area isn't an area that I'm terribly well versed in. There's probably hundreds and hundreds of bands in that field that I don't know. But the Chemical Brothers.
When did we covered Big Beat, didn't we? When did we talk about Big Beat? That was was that the compilation?
Gosh.
That might have been the compilation. Yeah, I think we because I had a couple of Big Beat. I
think we did mention the Chemical Brothers because I think we touched on their live shows being pretty awesome, despite the fact it essentially is two guys standing behind a rack of machinery. They do make the effort with the light shows and the graphics and everything. But I put it on because I think it is a very, very good album. It's not necessarily a great album in the same way as Ladies and Gentlemen, We're Floating in Space is, but it's still a very fine album indeed. And I think a lot of that album is made up of tracks which they are largely uncluttered, so you get the back line of quite unfussy drums and a very simplistic repetitive bass line, and you get that spine that runs consistently almost, and everything else swirls around it in this kind of weaving and ebbing and flowing, a whole load of electronic accoutrements that are thrown over it, and I think that works really well. It's not what Block Rocking Beats is, and I understand why that was such a big hit, but for me the best tracks are those that are a lot less fussy, like Don't Stop the Rock and Electrobank. Piku is interesting because for all of the discussions we've had in previous podcast episodes about the additions of artificial surface noise and so on, or microphony, the hisses, clicks, pops and of analog recording, static and dust, crackle, tracking noises and that, the Chemical Brothers dropped that into Piku. So it's kind of a diversion from the fact that actually this is all pretty clinical digital machinery, TR-808s and 909s, TB-303s and so on, all churning away, fantastically digitally perfect. They put this microphony on it, which kind of distracts you from that, and it feels much more authentic. But it's good. It's good. John Peel once said, that life has surface noise. When somebody had said to him that I don't like records anymore, and it does. John Cage went into an anechoic chamber many years ago, and he said even there he could hear two frequencies, a high frequency and a low frequency. And when he came out, he asked what were these frequencies, and he was told that the high frequency is the sound of your nervous system, and the low frequency is the sound of your circulatory system. So there's no getting away from noise. So
fair play.
So it's very good, and I love the track.
That's very true.
I love the track.
Do you get tinnitus?
Tinnitus or tinnitus? Yes, I don't know. Tinnitus, I
Yeah.
always said. No, I don't. Touch wood. I do occasionally get a kind of a whistle comes up for just a few seconds and then fades away again. God
And
alone
then you
knows.
realise you're standing on the platform at the railway
Yeah,
station.
get away from the edge, you twat! Whoosh. No, do you then? Do you suffer from that?
Yes, yes, I do. If nothing too horrendous, but when I go to bed, if there's no other noise, I'm just laying there. I can hear a really low pitched whine
Okay.
in my ears
All
constantly.
right.
Yeah, I tell you what that was. Dinosaur fucking Junior.
Oh,
That
really?
was.
Bastards.
Yeah, I'd had problems, and had started wearing earplugs to gigs, and then I went to see Dinosaur Junior in probably 2011, either 2009 or 2011 at the Junction, and I got there and I forgot my fucking
Oh,
earplugs,
dear.
and I thought, oh, I'll be all right for one night. Phew, I've never experienced such noise. It wasn't that it was so. It wasn't. I don't think it was necessarily the volume. It was his guitar,
Frequency just
just
hitting you.
that piercing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and ever since then, I don't know whether something ruptured or what. I end up at the end of the gig, my fingers literally in my ears,
Oh, God.
and it's never quite been the same
It'll settle down
since.
again.
I've,
When
I've
I've come out
just
of gigs, I mean, in latter years, I mean, when you're younger, you come out and it's nothing. But in latter years, I'll go 24, 48 hours with compromised hearing, seriously compromised hearing after a gig. Funnily enough, I've had my grandson over for 4 or 5 days because they're on school holidays, and he just went home last night, and he's been calling me Timu ears. I said, "What the fuck are you on about Timu ears?" He says, "Because everything from Timu is shit, and you can't hear anything." Little cheeky little bugger. I was like, what'd you say,
dear.
boy? What'd you say?
You better run that by our lawyers before it goes out. We get sued by TV.
Oh dear.
We'll get a cease and desist or something.
Anyway, yeah, so dig your own
dear.
hole. So some great tracks on it. There's a band that's sampled on there, Lothar and the Hand People. I'd never realised until I had a look just a few days ago. I'd never heard of them, but yeah, they're on there. Beth Orton's on there. It's a fine record.
I do love Beth Orton. I think she's great. Yeah, and that private psychedelic reel at the end, were the Flaming Lips or Mercury
It's
Rev on
Mercury
there?
Rev wrote it, and he sings and
Mercury
he
Rev, yeah.
plays. Well, he scrawls clarinet all over the place in no
Yeah,
particular
I do remember
fashion.
that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I actually own that on vinyl. I think I've got two copies of the first LP because I've got a really old knackered copy
Okay.
that I bought years ago from. In fact, I bought it just after it came out because it was it's a promo version. It had a promo postcard in it,
Okay.
and I think I got it from Andy Secondhand in Cambridge.
Okay.
And it's just a bit knackered now. So I did buy a reissue a couple of years ago I think it was on Funky Coloured Vinyl. I can't remember.
Funky coloured.
But that's so yeah. But the second one I don't know. I've got a box set for the third one with lots of interesting stuff on it.
Okay.
That's really good. But the one, what was the last one they did?
I don't know. I haven't followed their career,
no.
to be honest.
The last one they did was absolutely fantastic, and I'm just trying to see if I can find it on Amazon so I can.
Is that?
I don't know if it's worth it. I can't. They're so bloody. Oh, No Geography.
Oh,
That was
right.
the one. That was amazing. That was pretty immense because I always listened to the Chemical Brothers new LPs when they came out, and I think they've been. I kind of felt like we were getting diminishing returns from them, but No Geography was just a
Oh,
banger.
I haven't got that. I
That
think
is
Come
a-
With Us and Push the
it's-
Button are
yeah.
both great, but I haven't heard that last
Yeah, it's really really good, really good.
one. Okay.
Yeah, I saw them at All Points East a few years ago. I went with my sister.
Okay.
We saw Kraftwerk the same day,
What a day.
which was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good, and we got absolutely shit faced as well. So,
Are you going to
yeah,
see
all good.
Kraftwerk on their most recent sortie?
No, I couldn't really afford it. It was the tickets were really expensive, and I'd love to have gone, but it was just a bit too much, really.
Okay.
Your number two, okay. My number three is The Boatman's Call.
Oh, Nick Cave.
Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did think about that, but I thought
would,
it's not one of their best, so I'll pass on it for this occasion.
Weird, because I think it is. I think it's probably one of my favourite Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds records.
Okay, that's interesting.
And I think because it's I think fundamentally it's a lot different than any of the other ones they've done, because it is just very, very slow, very well written love songs. Because he was in a relationship with PJ Harvey at the time, wasn't he? Or just come out of a relationship with her, and a lot of the songs were about her. And it's very, it's kind of quite a lovelorn album. It's full of really, really lovely love songs.
Lovely basically. Love songs.
And I don't think, and it's very much of a tone. I think everything else he's done has been a bit not all over the place in a bad way, but the tone has varied. You've had some proper bangers along with some ballads, but this is almost all ballads. I mean, even Murder Ballads, even though it had ballads in the title, was kind of had some proper bangers in it, didn't it? Really,
Stagger Lee.
Yeah, particularly that one. But this is just, it is kind of a one-off in his catalogue, I think.
Okay.
I don't think there's ever been anything quite like The Boatman's Call. I mean, feel free to disagree with me.
I don't necessarily. I don't challenge what you're saying directly. I think The Boatman's Call is a very, very good record, but I prefer The Firstborn is Dead. I prefer Murder Ballads. I prefer Skeleton Tree. Even Idiot Prayer, I think, has a depth to it that I don't know. Boatman's Call. It's got some great tracks on it. Into My Arms, Time Is a Kingdom. There's some really, really good tracks on it. And to be honest, I mean, has Nick Cave ever made a bad record? All of his albums, even Kicking Against the Pricks is classy.
I just think it's a kind of a, I do think it's a bit of an outlier in his catalogue. It is all of, again, without risk of repeating myself,
it's too late
it's just that. Love song. It is love song after love song, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
And very, it's all very stately and very, and mainly piano led as well. Yeah. I mean, you don't get the feeling like the Bad Seeds were overworked during those sessions. No. They could have all fucked off down the pub.
And maybe they did.
And maybe they did. Yeah, maybe they did. But yeah, Are You the One I've Been Waiting For is fabulous.
Yeah, it's great.
Lime Tree Are, but I mean, there's no point in picking particular songs because I think the whole album from start to finish is just quite wonderful.
Green Eyes, is it the last track? I don't like that very much.
Yeah, that was West Country Girl's a good one because he takes the piss out of PJ Harvey's accent. She's come from down Somerset way, don't she?
You do.
So that's an appalling accent. One I shouldn't have bothered. I got in trouble last time. Last time I did an accent, I got in trouble, didn't I, for trying to do a Northern Irish accent. And people kept saying, "You can't do that."
You've got to know your limitations, Dave. You've got to know your limitations.
Yes, if you don't
know them, other people will point them out to you.
Absolutely, man's got to know his limitations. That was from a Dirty Harry film, wasn't it?
Oh, is it? I don't know.
Clint Eastwood definitely said that in a film. See, there I go off on a tangent. Okay. No talk about music anymore. Yeah, but yeah, that was kind of the early Nick Cave LPs passed me by again for the same reasons as the early, as everything else.
Okay.
It was just a matter of finances, really. And I think I was expecting something a bit more like the birthday party,
Right.
who I just kind of got the hang of, after lots of badgering from you. And then he started coming and doing ballads. It's like, now where, what?
Yeah.
What's going on? So it took me, so I didn't really pay much attention until The Good Son, because we went to the Reading Festival that year and saw him play tracks from The Good Son, and that was really, really awesome. And I bought that LP, and since then I've kind of bought pretty much everything he's ever done. And gone back and bought the other stuff.
I mean, it's one of those, like you said with Radiohead. I'm fortunate enough to have seen him live a few times, both Birthday Party and Nick Cave. But these days, you're very fortunate indeed if you can get a ticket, and certainly get a ticket at a reasonable price. He's just mega now.
Yeah. Well, I saw him at All Points East 4 years ago. I worked.
Well, that's one way to get in, tickets. Certainly.
Yeah. Well, exactly. I got there for free. I got to see the Smile. Was it the Smile I saw that day? I think I saw the Smile, and then got to see Nick Cave for nothing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Yeah. I've never seen anything quite like
He's
it.
an incredible showman.
The way he worked the crowd.
Yeah, he's an incredible showman. He's just born into it.
Hell of a gig.
Yeah. And he's a brilliant song crafter of songs as well. I think he's got so many stories in him that he can put to music.
Oh, yeah.
He's great. Yeah, great.
Have you ever read any of his books?
Yes, I'm just one about a crow or something. I can't remember what it's called exactly. But
there's one called The Us, and The Us Saw the Angel.
That's the one. Yeah.
That was hard going, wasn't it?
It's odd. Yeah, you got to get into the rhythm of it. Every paragraph, it's just like, oh yeah, this is Nick Cave. Oh yeah, this is Nick Cave.
Yeah,
it's just
totally. Yeah, totally. Yeah. And the death of Bonnie Monroe was really good. In fact, they just made a TV series of that, and that's going to be on.
Oh, really?
I think it's on Sky soon. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think I'll probably watch that. That looks interesting.
Okay. Because Jim Sklavounis has just released an album, hasn't he? On his own. He's doing some stuff on his own now.
I think he might have done. Yeah, they're all out. Did you ever hear Warren Ellis's album with Marianne Faithfull?
No, I've got some Warren Ellis with Nick Cave. Just as Warren Ellis and Nick Cave. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. It was Marianne Faithfull. It was she was her health was failing, and apparently she'd always wanted to do an album of her reading her favourite poems.
Oh, right.
So Warren Ellis did the music, and it sounds like, oh God, it's fabulous. It is absolutely amazing. It's such a good album.
Yeah.
I was blown away by it. I bought it, and weirdly, I bought it from a shop in Cambridge, and it was an import. And when I opened it, there was a little signed card with Marianne scrawled on it in very spidery writing.
What, an original signature or a copy or print?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
See, it was a original signature. In fact, I didn't find it for weeks, and I played the record several times. And then all of a sudden this thing fell out, and I was like, "What's that? Bloody hell!" And it was little autographed card from Marianne Faithfull.
And you got a clothes peg, and straight away put it in the spokes of your bicycle, went riding around, pretending you were on a motorbike again.
Yep, I was going. I was going. Oh my God, he's got a card signed by Marianne Faithfull, and I was gone. They just couldn't catch me. There he goes. There's that masked man.
The 40-year-old on the chopper. Yeah.
Thought of me on a bike these days. I avoid bicycles like the plague. Fucking hate them. I've got one. It's sitting outside and it's all rusty, and I just refuse to ride the thing. It kills my arse.
Well, you need to get different seats, perhaps.
I'm 60. I had one of those great big padded seats.
Oh, okay.
I biked about half a mile, and my arse was killing me. I was like, no, I'm not biking anywhere ever again, and I haven't. I haven't been on a bike in about 2 years now.
Oh, okay.
I just refuse to. So, yeah.
Well, I can't fault you with the traffic these days. You're taking your life in your hands.
Yes, absolutely. So my Marianne Faithfull card is back now in the album where it belongs. The peg is back in the peg basket, and I'm sure that the townsfolk miss me riding around going with me Marianne Faithfull card.
Oh, fucking here he comes again, don't twat. Somebody tell him.
Isn't that bloke who used to be walking? I keep expecting. I'm kind of half hoping someone will come up to me at some point and go, "Are you that bloke off Instagram?" just so I can tell the girls. Yeah. Anyway, I won't go on. Anyway, let's go on to another.
The chances are that it'll be somebody wearing His Majesty's uniform that comes and taps you on the shoulder.
Probably, yeah. Oh,
okay, yes, right. We digress. Oh, number three then for me. An album called Gravitational Pull versus the Desire for an Aquatic Life by Stars of the Lid, who you probably have heard of. US duo,
yes,
Brian McBride and Adam Wiltzie. Or they were, because McBride died in 2023, aged 53. Of natural causes.
That's right, yes.
Natural causes at 53. You know, he was cheated out of 30 years of the average American's life for some obscure reason. But there you go.
It's just crap, isn't it?
Crap indeed, yes. They formed in 1992, and this duo very, very nearly made it onto my ambient episode because they are an electronic soundscape ambient band. And the name Stars of the Lid, it's an odd name, but it comes from phosphenes, or those hallucinations of light that you get when you close your eyes tightly and you see colours moving around on the back of your lid.
Do you know, I did know that, because I do like Stars of the Lid, actually.
I thought you would.
I can't remember. I've got a couple of CDs over there. Don't have any vinyl, but I do have CD. Carry on.
Well, they've got a great catalogue, and Gravitational Pull is their third album, and this is my cheaty one because the LP was originally.
Here we go.
The LP.
Here we go.
Just hold on, because I can justify it. I've got rationale for this. The LP was originally released on Sedimental in 1996, but the band didn't like it at all. They felt the sound quality was poor, and they scrapped them and sent it back for repressing at the same pressing plant. When it came back from the pressing plant repressed, they still hated it. And I think they'd said something like, "Does anybody want 700 massive coasters or something?" Because it got so much surface noise on it. So it wasn't until the following year, 1997, when the CD was released by Cranky, that they proudly said, "This is our release." So I'm going with that as, you know, if the band rejected the 1996 abortion of a release, that's good enough for me. The real release is 1997. So
fair enough, I'll give you that.
Thank you very much indeed, Your Honour.
No problem.
I don't know.
I've adjudicated in your favour.
You can take the wig off now. I know you've been dying to put that on every episode.
Order in court.
Oh, goodness me. Gravitational Pull. I don't know what the title means, but it's a quite obscure title. But what you've got here is 50 minutes of blissful electronic soundscaping, where they're using a lot of classical instrumentation, horn, piano, as well as guitar, but it's so heavily treated that it is unrecognisable. Sometimes it's vaporous, sometimes it's rumbling. The sounds of angels or phantoms, whatever kind of takes your mood, and it just is lovely. There's very little melody in it. The tracks just evolve a huge.
Do they meander?
I wouldn't say they meander, because that gives it a sense of lacking purpose. They billow and ebb and flow, and sometimes it's dark. So on the track Lactate's Moments, you've got these minor slide tones accompanying the drone, and lots more eerie sounds that flit in and flit out. There are sounds that evoke a deserted playground and the rusted swings swinging, like the playground in the town of Pripyat, just which was the closest town to Chernobyl, where there's just these deserted playgrounds and the breeze blowing these rusted swings. And then you've got tracks like the final track, which is the best track on the album, on a great album, where it's much warmer, and there's a warm mid-frequency tone with subtle modulation, and it really does evoke the expanse of time. It's called Be Little With Me, and you can lay there in the dark listening to that, and you feel small. You feel like you're listening to the expanse of time and the universe. It's absolutely fantastic. Despite the fact that it's an utterly mesmerising, beguiling album, it's not their best. That could arguably be an album called "And Their Refinement of the Decline," which I think is their last release.
I think that's the one I've got.
Oh, it's brilliant!
Yeah.
It's brilliant. And McBride's second solo album, "The Effective Disconnect," which was released in 2010, is extraordinarily good as well. So a great band. Ambient soundscape electronics. It's a great album, and it's just very, very sad that Stars of the Lid have necessarily come to an end as a duo. Wiltsey's clearly doing solo stuff now. It's difficult to say where he goes, but it's a fantastic album.
Have you ever? This is going to go off a bit of a tangent.
Go on.
So, but it was just when you said about laying there being very small. Have you ever seen an artwork called Dead Dad? It was it's a terrible title.
Yeah.
It was this guy called Ron. I think his name's Ron Mook. It's Mueck, and we went to the Saatchi Gallery a few years ago. I think it must have been a long while ago. I think it was before we had kids. So it was over 20 years ago. And he did these like ultra lifelike sculptures made of latex to look like real people. And one of them was a giant head, and you looked at it, and it was supposed to show you how your face looked to a baby.
Oh wow!
When you're kind of going in, going. So anyway, he did this one called Dead Dad, and it was a sculpture of his dad. And after his dad had died, he went to see the body, and he said that my dad was such a large-than-life character that actually seeing him dead, he seemed so small.
Oh, right.
So he'd done a sculpture of his dad lying there naked and dead,
Okay.
but had kind of descaled him a bit.
Right.
So it just looks smaller. And it's just when you said about feeling really small, I just got this image of this fucking thing in my head. It's really good. You should look him up.
I should have a look.
Ron Mook.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yes. So yeah. Sorry.
Well, there you go.
Sorry,
it's
I went off on.
It's always fascinating to have these little insights into your peculiar world, Dave.
Very peculiar world.
Very
yes,
peculiar
very
world.
Peculiar mind. Oh dear. Okay, so that was your number three,
Yep.
wasn't it? So I've got to do my number 4.
You have.
Which is Spiritualized, ladies and gentlemen. Oh no, I can't fucking do that because someone else picked it. Bastard. So number 4 is going to be my substitute, and this is my one that was a bit iffy because it wasn't an actual. It kind of was, and well, it was originally a 12-inch single, but there was a version that was a mini album, and it was "Come to Daddy" by Aphex Twin.
Nearly made my list.
Oh yes,
Gosh, that was quite close.
Yeah, just that song.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's just absolutely amazing. And I did listen to the mini LP, which I hadn't done in a long while. I've listened to "Come to Daddy" a lot over the years. Yeah, I remember seeing really late night on a Friday night. They showed the video.
Creepy.
That video, whoa,
freaky.
That was outstanding. Directed by Chris Cunningham, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
And that was an outstanding video. But that song was just. And I remember going out and buying. I think I bought it on CD at the time because I mean we were in the CD years, 97 really, weren't we? And there was a mini LP version with lots of some remixes and odd B-sides, and I bought that, and I was just blown away. I love Aphex Twin.
Yeah.
Previous to "Come to Daddy," I hadn't really heard that much because again, I mean, we're talking about 97, so you were just about pre-internet or pre, access to any decent internet. So downloading music and finding music on the internet was just a pain in the arse. So we were still at the stage where we were when we were listening to punk.
Yeah.
It was music papers and John Peel, and I'm pretty sure John Peel had played some Aphex Twin.
Definitely.
But my priorities lie elsewhere. I was still buying punk and and noise, noisy guitar stuff, probably Amphetamine Reptile record stuff,
Yeah.
and and obviously Mogwai and lots of other stuff around then. So the electronic, kind of dancey stuff took a bit of a back seat at that time. But when Come to Daddy came out, it was like, whoa,
brilliant record.
This is amazing. And it did reinvigorate my interest in electronic music and in dance music at that time. And then I think, the next few years were a bit of a purple patch really for electronic music, especially.
Yeah.
You had you had drum and bass was in vogue then. You had people like Prodigy, who were popularizing dance music, whether like them or loathe them. They were. Did you not like the Prodigy?
No, not at all.
No. But like as I say, like them or loathe them, they did do a lot for electronic dance music and did popularize or did help to make it popular.
Yeah.
But
then it's a very different position in the world to Aphex Twin. Aphex Twin, is only barely dance music in any sense, I think. Okay, so like classics and so on, the album, there's a lot of repetitive beats.
Yeah,
I
think I was generalising a bit then, with the whole dance music thing, yeah. But some of the stuff, I remember Didgeridoo. I saw Didgeridoo. I saw a music video for that when that came out, and I kind of wish I'd have been exposed to the ambient stuff as well a bit earlier, because I was a bit late coming to that. Although having said that, I think that Come to Daddy put me on that journey where I discovered ambient. I discovered or not discovered it. I got back into the things you'd be listening to, like the old Eno stuff. You got back into ambient music. You discovered like warm electronica, which was a thing, and then all the kind of glitchy Rasta and stuff that we've discussed at length previously as well. So I think I think that was a record that that really put me back on track with electronic music, and I'm really grateful for that. And it's a great piece of work.
It is. The little
is.
Lord Fauntleroy mix is a
yes. I was listening.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I listened to the whole thing today. As that was my whole research. I didn't bother writing anything down other than the titles. But it was, I think the thing with the thing with when we're doing a lot of these, you do need to write things down. You do need to have some notes. But I think when it's something like this, when it's a particular year, it becomes more anecdotal, and you can remember that time. 97, I was 30. We'd have been 32.
Yeah,
both of us.
Yeah.
And I can remember, I can remember where I lived. I think I'd just come out of a relationship at that time. I remember where I was working. I was on a great old time.
I'm sure you come out of more relationships than you go into. I don't know how you manage that.
Yeah, I know. Bloody hell.
Yeah,
it's a struggle. It's a struggle bit of me. It really is.
Yeah, 97 was an interesting time. I was living up in the wilds of Bourne. 97 was the last live performance that I did. We did, me and a couple of others, we went to play in Brighton, and we spent the afternoon. I think Luke Vibert was there as well. There's only half a dozen of us, and we spent the afternoon in this cave in the cellar, doing all this electronic noise, and then it was all cut and looped and spliced and mixed, and then it was all played live at the Zap Club in Brighton that same night, which was the night that Tony Blair and the Labour Party ascended to power in a massive landslide, and a couple of us went back to the hotel and had a blazing row about whether this was good or bad for the country, and that was the way the day ended.
Wonderful. And that was your last live gig?
That was the last live gig, and that was only pseudo live because we played live to no audience, and it was all engineered and then played back as just a loop of our sound. And there was one guy with a saxophone that played over the top of this track that we'd all made in the afternoon. So it wasn't strictly speaking live, but it was a great session.
I remember a few years ago, and you got offered a gig in a festival, didn't you? In
Austria,
Croatia.
There's Austria.
Yeah. And I was trying to talk you into doing it because I wanted to be your roadie.
You're such a whore. Yeah, you're such a whore. You can carry all the equipment.
Yeah, I would have done. I'd have been like a fucking pack horse just for a couple of days in Austria on the beer while you were doing your in the car with your bloody laptop and keyboard.
Yeah. I think we just come out of COVID, and I'd made some excuse about I was still all a bit fucked up, but I don't. I never really loved playing live, and I can't imagine that I'm likely to do it now because I play all the instruments and stuff, so it'll be fucking difficult for me.
Well, you could put some colour coding on the keyboard. I'll just stand there and push some.
You can do some stuff. Yeah. Maybe one day. Who knows? You never say never. It's an interesting year. My number 4 then is New Lands by Flying Saucer Attack.
All right.
Flying Saucer Attack, formed in Bristol, 1992. David Pearce and Rachel Brooke, the latter of Movie Tone, with their mate Stephen Wood or Rocker on a couple of tracks here and there.
I remember Movie Tone. Yeah.
Yeah. And Matt Elliott, who occasionally appeared with them as well, Third Eye Foundation, but not on this particular album. So this is their 5th album. It's on Domino in the UK and Drag City in the US, and it's very similar to a lot of their other stuff, which is just great. Languid, fuzzed out, noise drenched sound, instruments that are barely discernible. The whole sound is buried in this fuzzed out distortion, but not distortion that is aggressive, distortion that makes it feel like being stoned on a summer afternoon and everything's just warm and hazy and everything else is dreamlike. So you've got the Pearce's vocal, which he sings some lovely little melodies and tunes and so on, but they're far, far, far away in the distance, as are the instruments. And it's great. It's just very simple in respect of the technicalities of what it is, the music, but it works so well. Standout tracks Present and Up in Our Eyes, like again, a fog of noise, and the discernible bits of voice and occasional bits of guitar shine through it like a lighthouse, if you like. It's very much, I suppose, like Tim Hecker, the grainy, stretched out electronic sounds, but with the addition of the kind of semi-submerged Bristolian folk music that's going on in the background, like clash between the two. There are rhythmic elements in some of it, but not all of it, and the rhythmic elements again just strung out, stretched out, hazed out, obscured in this smoke of sound. So it's really great. Can't tell you an awful lot about it. They're from Bristol, as I say. Rachel left in 1995 to spend more time on Movie Tone, and I think Flying Saucer Attack shuddered to a halt. I think their last album was 10 years ago, instrumentals. There's nothing on Spotify. I had a look. There are some tracks on YouTube, but no videos. So they're quite low key as a band. But I think they had a real unique place and a real kind of sound that in itself you haven't heard before. Bits and pieces, as I say, bits of Tim Hecker, bits of Third Eye Foundation, and so on. But as a self-contained whole, there's nothing quite like it. So very good.
I've always I know Flying Saucer Attack. But I've never really had a good listen to them, I have to admit.
Okay.
And I don't know why. Perhaps it is that lack of stuff available.
Yeah, I mean, they've done, God knows, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 albums. They did one with Telefunken, Distance, which was really, really good. That's got some absolutely sublime moments on it. But it's all good stuff.
I think they're one of those bands that pop up in conversations, but you know, I've never really sat down and had a listen. I'll have to try and find something and have a listen, and I'll let you know what I think. It was something we listened to last time, and I can't. I'm not even going to attempt it because my memory's just like it's just not worth it, really. It's not worth it. It's like a bit of fucking chewing gum that's been left on stuck under a desk, and someone every now and again you find it and have a chew on it.
Oh, in the toilet seat.
I think we could go quite that far, but
I think if you were struggling to remember what it was you said you were determined to go out and listen to, I think it was Dawn Upshaw and the London Sinfonietta, David Zinman's version of Gorecki's Third Symphony.
Gorecki, yes, I listened to that and I thought it was quite fabulous. And then
fabulous.
I listened to the Beth Gibbons one as well. And again,
yeah.
And really enjoyed that again.
Yeah, it's not as good as the Dawn Upshaw one, but it's good.
No. I was reading, there was an article about that in The Guardian the other day.
About what?
About Gorecki's, about that recording of Gorecki's Third Symphony.
Which recording?
And how, I'm pretty sure it was the Dawn Upshaw one.
Okay.
And it was really big in classical circles because, and I think Classic FM had just started and put some weight behind it as well.
Exactly where I encountered it, Classic FM in its early days.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah.
One of the comments we got on Instagram was someone asking me if I was ever into opera.
Oh,
and
so just
an opera. I mean,
the way your voice goes.
Oh well, no, because she is an opera singer. She follows us on Instagram, and she is an opera singer. And I had to confess, I know very little about. I said, does Gorecki's Third Symphony count? Because I know there's
a soprano.
Yeah, she's a soprano in that.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, I mean, I wouldn't even know where to start with opera. I'd probably start with something really dreadful, hate it, and then never listen to anything else. I think that's the
Pirates of Penzance.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. I think all that says opera. This one fucking no.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that would be typical, wouldn't it? That would be typical.
Well, we should do an opera section and see what happens.
Oh, fuck off. No, that's just never going to happen. That's never going to happen. And with no disrespect to any opera fans, I just wouldn't know where to start. And I wouldn't, it's like, it's a bit like, I mean, I know we're both, I don't know about you, but I'm dying to do a reggae one.
Yeah.
And go through dub. But I'm so awful at, I mean, I love reggae. I love dub music. But talking about it, I just feel underqualified.
Yeah.
Because I don't really know how to convey my love for it. And I don't know how to get into the intricacies and the technicalities of listening to dub. I know how it all works. And I know that, you know, I love King Tubby. I love Lee Perry. I love Joe Gibbs. I love Augustus Pablo. I love everybody.
I love everybody. You've slipped back to the 60s, haven't you? You've dropped some acid and you're off.
Man. I've got flowers in my hair. I love everyone. Hey, down with the man. But I just...
oh, God. Oh dear!
I might have taken that a bit far then.
Yes.
I just wouldn't know how to articulate. How I know how to listen to reggae. I know how much I love it, but I just don't know how to articulate. The like I say, the technicalities of the technical stuff of reggae and everything.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like you'd be kind of trying to tread water in a sea of other people's expertise, really.
Absolutely, yeah. And I don't think I'd do it justice. I'd love to name my top five dub albums, my top five reggae,
I don't think there's any
but
problem with that. I mean, well, I don't think even with punk music, I don't think either of us, certainly not me, sets ourselves up as we know it all, we are the experts or anything. None of this is stuff that comes easily to me because, as I say, I've historically not been terribly interested in what's behind the sound itself.
yeah,
You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, look, you know, we both love dub reggae. These are some of the records we love. This is why we love it, but we don't know much about how it was
yeah.
made or
It is
anything.
ridiculous. I've got about 300 reggae
Well, there you
records
go.
in my hallway,
Yeah,
and yet actually talking about them, I'd find really
yeah.
tricky.
Okay.
But
Well, can ponder
anyway,
that
I
for the future.
digress.
Yeah,
Yes. We'll see if we can get round that somehow and
yeah.
unleash some dub. So anyway, my final one from 1997, I'm pretty much guarantee you haven't picked, is "Love Songs for Underdogs" by Tanya Donnelly. Um, and so Tanya Donnelly, originally part of Throwing Muses, with her half sister or stepsister Kristen Hirsch, who I absolutely loved. My friend, my friend, uh, what was her name? Jill. Was it Jill? Well, anyway, I can't remember. It was a long while ago. It was my friend Terry's sister, Anne. Anne. She got me into Throwing Muses. She gave me a tape of one of the first. Of, I think probably the first Throwing Muses LP, and I thought it was fantastic. And saw them at the Corn Exchange on the Real Ramona tour, and they were absolutely amazing. And then Tanya Donnelly went on to, I think she was in the Breeders next with Kim Deal,
Hmm.
and then formed Belly, uh, and did two LPs with Belly that were fabulous. There was, oh God, now I've see now I've written them down.
Oh,
One
for
was
notes.
called King. There was King and Star. They were the
Okay.
two, and they were brilliant LPs. Kind of this off kilter indie rock, and there was always something. It was the same with all the bands she was in. There was always something a bit wonky about it,
Mm.
just it was always, they're a bit surreal, a bit, just a bit different, and I loved that about them. And Belly were fantastic. The lyrics that she wrote with Belly were amazing. And anyway, she split Belly up, and her first solo album was Love Songs for Underdogs, and obviously released in 1997, and it was wonderful. And I did. It was one of those ones where like I said, I had the first four LPs picked, and then I was just listening through a few, and I played Love Songs for Underdogs. Hadn't played it for quite some time, and I was thinking, God, I know this, and the whole thing it was ping, 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 just going off in my head. I was going, oh my God, I know these tracks so well. I didn't even realise that it must be. A couple of years since I've played it.
Okay.
But fabulous songwriting, great tunes. It wasn't quite. You couldn't say that it would have been the third Belly album, because it was kind of, there was just slight differences in the way the music was constructed, very slight, but you could just tell it was slightly different. But it's just such a really good LP. I think Belly have reformed now, and they did a gig at the Electric Ballroom. They did a 30th anniversary gig for King, and I wish I'd gone,
Yeah. Right.
really, because I saw them live at the Cambridge Junction back in the day,
In the day.
and God, they were good live. They were
Right.
so good. And I think the reformed lineup is the original lineup as well.
Okay.
Um, and I always remember they did a performance on an old BBC Two show called The Late Show,
I remember the late show.
um,
Yeah.
back in the late 90s, and they did a song. I'm pretty sure they did a song called "Super Connected." From it's one of the best live performances on TV I've seen. It was so good. It was such a great 3 or 4 minutes. It was brilliant. I mean, and Tanya Donnelly's just one of those people who I just think she's genius.
Okay, that's a very strong word to use.
I'll listen to anything she makes. Anything. I think she's absolutely superb.
I'm sure if she made a souffle, you wouldn't listen to that.
I probably would actually. I'm sure you could.
Yes.
I'm sure if you could put it in a bag and squeeze it and make it pop and then slam it against things.
You could rub it all over your belly.
Damn, man, you're not. Oh, that's a terrible joke. I was just going to say you're not going to catch me out with your asides, but that was dreadful. I don't quite know what to say. You should be ashamed. Any new listeners we picked up will have fucked off now after hearing that joke. They'll be, oh my god, did he really just say
that?
I'm
not ashamed.
Did he really just? No, that was appalling. That was absolutely appalling. Oh dear. Hang your head in shame.
Not at all, not at all. You're just making a lot of it because you've lost your place now. You don't know what you're going to say.
I have, and my brain's whirring around, going, "What the fuck was I talking about?"
Indeed.
He's totally thrown me. I think I was just going on and on about how great Tanya
I think you
Donnelly
were.
was.
Yeah, you listened to anything because she's a genius.
Yeah, and so I'd thoroughly recommend this. I don't think it really did much when it came out. I think it was on 4AD, and I don't think it was necessarily a flop, but I don't think it charted or. I've still got the copy on vinyl, white vinyl, as well.
Okay.
So yes, very nice. In fact, I have, because I must have played it recently, actually. And there's me saying it just popped out. It probably was because I think I played it not long ago. Duh. See? Brain not working.
Yeah.
But yes, so that was my brief number 5, because there's not much more you can say. It's just a brilliant LP, and I thoroughly recommend it.
Well, what I know of Belly and Tanya Donnelly and Kristen Hirsch, I can't say that their musics have ever really got over the horizon for me. I wouldn't be able to say what they sound like at all. No.
I thought you'd have liked Throwing Muses. I thought you'd have.
I don't know.
Mind you weren't. I think they came out on 4AD around the same time as the Pixies.
Right.
So you might have kind of just gone, well, I don't like the fucking Pixies. So
I wasn't a big fan of the Pixies. Like I said before, they had some good tracks, but mostly not. Like you said, you can't listen to everything. I think listen to your playlist last time. I hadn't really listened to the Sundays before, but I thought they were quite good. Those tracks you put on the playlist of those.
I very nearly picked a Sundays LP for this. They released Static and Silence this year, yeah.
Okay.
And I nearly picked that. If it hadn't been that I'd gone on about them not long ago, I'd probably have I would probably have stuck them in there. Yeah, because that was a great album as well. But that first Sundays album, that's a cracker. I'd recommend a listen to the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's very, very good. Very good.
Cool. Okay, wrapping up the episode this time around, then my final one is a bit of a pop record, really.
What?
I know.
What? Have you lost your mind?
I think I may have done. It's an old friend of mine, a guy called Andy Mansfield. Nothing to do with the formation of the town which I live in now. No association at all. But an old friend of mine, Andy Mansfield.
What, you live in Andy?
No, yes. Yeah, he played me this album, and at the time, my reaction was, "What on earth are you playing me this for?" Because the album is "The Golden Mile" by My Life Story, and it's brassy pop with a Tommy Steele-esque cockney kind of swagger that's about 1,000,000,000,000,000 miles away from anything that I would ordinarily listen to.
Gore blimey, governor!
It was very gore blimey, governor. But it has something quite magical about it, because apart from the fact that it very quickly clicked with me a couple of plays in, this is actually really pretty good. But it's one of the very, very, very limited number of records that every member of my family really, really liked. And given
Oh, really?
my wife Rachel, she was all in a two-tone and 60s. My son, it was in at the time Blink 182 and all of that kind of new punk stuff. And my daughter, it was Beyonce and Eminem and stuff. None of us should have liked this, but it became kind of a staple on road trips and stuff. We'd all be singing along to it quite joyfully.
Right.
Because it is really good pop music, despite that kind of getting over the that kind of Tommy Steele kind of sense to it. So it's led by Jake.
Apples and pears, north and south.
I think they just about
get some jelly deals.
they just about shied away from rhyming slang, which was fortunate, really. But it's a good stuff, and it's My Life Story is quite a large number of band members, and I think in latter years one of the reasons why they haven't played so much is because there were about 12 or 13 people needed on stage to reproduce their music, because it is quite complex music, lots of instrumentation, lots of horns, and so on. Led by Jake Shillingford, and there's a lot of orchestral sensibilities about it as well as instrumentation. This is their second album, and it got to 36 in the charts, and it's got some really great tracks on it. The opening track, 12 Reasons Why I Love Her, which was a single and got to 32 in its own right. It's a cracking, energetic track, and he just goes through the 12 reasons why he loves his girl, which strangely include the way she puts her fingers in her mouth, and the way she never calls me when she says, which
is that when she's eating her jelly deals and her cockles and whelks, God blind governor.
just slamming them down her throat. That's why she didn't call him. She's got a mouth full of whelks.
She don't even have to swallow. She puts them that far back down her throat. They just drop down her gullet.
Ram them down. Yeah, she sounds like an annoying woman, and I'm not sure why there would be any reasons to love her. I think we've just insulted another subset of the British population. It's not the Irish, it's the Southwesterners and now the Cockneys. We really are going to need to put a health warning on.
Right, can't go down to London. Can't go down to London anymore.
You've had it now, yeah. But at least one of the reasons he loves her is because she likes motorbikes. So that's worth forgiving her for everything else. But it's got tracks like Strumpet on there. You Can't Uneat the Apple. Sparkle. Strumpet got to 27. Sparkle got to 34. So there's a lot of singles on this album. And it just motors along. There's some quieter, more reflective tracks on there. Mr. Boyd, Clara. It's just a great range of brassy, Tommy Steele-esque, well played, well written.
You do like your Tommy Steele references, don't you?
Because it is. It is just totally what you'd expect to see Tommy Steele.
You could have gone Dick Van Dyke. No, he was a proper Cockney, mate.
Yeah, but this is not Dick Van Dyke. This is Tommy Steele. There's a difference. There's a distinct difference between the two. And I shouldn't like it. None of us should like it, but it's still a record worth listening to. But I don't know a great deal about the band. They split up in 2000. They've reformed intermittently for shows, but I don't think there's an awful lot of vigor in them kind of continuing as My Life Story.
Yeah.
But part of the reason, as I say, is getting 12 to 13 people all together to practice and then get on the stage is probably challenging. But it's a good track. It's a good record. It's got some good tracks on it, and I think it's definitely worthy of being on our great records of 1997 list.
Fair enough. I'll be honest. I know the name. I don't think I could name, even after you just read them out a second ago. I've forgotten them all. I don't think I could have named a My Life Story song. No. Completely passed me by.
I think they got overshadowed by Divine Comedy. I think they were in a similar ilk, and they went on to kind of.
Okay.
I think they sucked the publicity out of that particular field in the same way as Matt Elliott and Third Eye Foundation did out of FSA. I don't know. Maybe that's a complete nonsense of an analogy, but it did feel like there was a similarity. Not everybody could aspire to be the top of that pile, and My Divine Comedy took it, or the Divine Comedy took it from My Life Story. Sorry.
Yeah, I quite like the Divine Comedy. I don't listen to them when I hear them played on radio or wherever. I'm not like I don't automatically vomit or anything.
Which is fortunate if you've got your headphones in on the tube.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. Oh my! Oh god!
Sorry, everybody.
At least you get a seat though, so that's good. Oh dear. So that's 1997.
It is
completed then.
It is, yeah.
Yes.
I don't think it was a classic year. There's some really good records there, but I don't think.
When we talked about it, when we originally talked about it, we went away and looked. We had a quick look and then came back and said, "Yeah, let's do 1997." But I think you're right. I didn't. I mean, I fucking researched 1997. I went through every list I could find. I went through Discogs and went through my record collection, and I probably only ended up with. I probably got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I probably 11 LPs altogether that I thought were worthy of really talking about. And obviously we've got through 6 of them. Because we both had Ladies and Gentlemen, Boatman's Call. We've mentioned Static and Silence because that was another one. Mogwai. I had put Prodigy, Fat of the Land because I do have 97. Right? Yeah, I do like that LP, and I do appreciate what Prodigy did for dance music. I had Tang John, Wu-Tang Forever. That was one I had. The Wu-Tang Clan. That was a great LP.
Yeah.
But I haven't listened to it in a long while, and I very much think that if I'd listened to it now, I would have felt a lot different about it than I did back in 97. I think it was, we were just getting into Wu-Tang at that time, and there were a lot of Wu-Tang albums out, probably the year before and the year after. But I'm pretty sure that was about the only one, because I think the year after was probably Liquid Swords, wasn't it? Must have been.
Maybe. I think it's a good thing to do the year as a selection, though, and I think it's good to pick the year like I did last time, remember 1997, without looking, without really thinking what was in 1997. Not trying to engineer a great year, but just picking a year and saying what were the best records, what were the good records out in that year. So if every few episodes we come back and just slam a year in, go away and have a look and see what was in there. I think it was really interesting to go and look at some of the 1997 records. Like you, I'd got some other 1997 records which sprung to mind straight away, hadn't listened to for a long time. You put it on and think, there's some really good tracks on here, but as a whole, it's not really going to stand up amongst these other ones.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the reasons. Like I said, that was one of the reasons why I didn't play Wu-Tang Forever again, because I've got such good memories of that record. I don't really want to tarnish it by playing it, and then it turns out to be a bit shit.
Yeah,
I mean, also I picked Man or Astro Man's album that year.
Okay, what was that? What was the album that year for them?
Something Technetium, wasn't it?
I can't remember
the title of it.
Well, we can do 1997 again if you like. But the thing
is, no, it's all right, because I listened to it and it wasn't one of their best. I didn't think.
Okay.
There was a Superchunk LP that day, and I am a massive fan of Superchunk. It was Indoor Living.
Yeah.
And I listened to it today, and it was okay, but I still went for Tanya Donnelly. Above it.
Yeah. There was a really good one of the albums. There was a really good Lard album, Pure Chewing Satisfaction.
Yes.
Which I had on my list for a while, and I thought, you know what, this isn't their best album, and I'm gonna.
I thought exactly the same.
I'll wait till I get an opportunity to come to talk about Lard in a wider sense, or their first album or something, because it's not. It's not doing it a service. It's not doing the band a service.
I think doing a probably an earlier year in the 90s would be good.
Okay.
Probably another 80s year. What did we do 89 last time?
We did. Did we do 89? Yeah, it was 89. Yeah. I
bet 84, 85 would be a cracker.
God blimey, Gov. Yeah. So you got. Yeah. Oh my God, I've become my life story.
And fucking hell. I still think we should do some early 70s as well before we actually started buying music in general.
I think every decade
kind of go by our
I think every decade would throw up some really interesting stuff. Even the noughties, the 2000s and 10s, there'd be some really interesting, really good music in there. But that's the joy. I mean, we've got like 4 decades or more where we can just fling stuff in every so often around the other stuff that we're doing. So we're doing,
and now we've got more listeners. I mean, if they haven't already,
they've all gone. It was that joke I told. They've all fled screaming.
Maybe some, if someone's got a particular year that they would like us to discuss, we can. I mean, we don't have to do it, but we can kind of look into it. And if we can find a decent selection, maybe go ahead and. But yeah, I think probably some mid-80s, some early 90s. I think we've got our subject for the next one, haven't we? Cover versions is next. Yeah. I had 5 cover versions within about 4 minutes of us. I do love a good cover version, and I know what my favourite cover versions are directly off the top of my head. I don't think I'm going to rejig it. I've got a 6th one that just in case I very much doubt we both picked the same. But you never know.
I think it's unlikely. Certainly, there's some of mine you definitely won't. Looking forward to, I think that's a really good list for next time round.
Excellent. Okay, well, let's sign off for now and say goodbye to all of our new listeners.
Thank you for sticking with us. Yes, thank you for persevering.
We normally do come up with. Well, Jake never comes up with decent jokes. But,
it's my job.
My joke quotient was relatively high tonight. I think I just
you can pay your script writers well now,
But I am star of video and Instagram, I do have a reputation to uphold.
You are the celebrity of the team, yes.
Oh dear!
Dear,
I can't believe 260,000 people have looked at me. Talking
not medical people.
Fucking insane. Everyone, the proctologist.
They're all studying anthropology.
they probably look at it and go, "What the fuck? Who's the old bearded twat?" It's mind blowing to think that many people have looked at one video. I can't quite get my head around it. And as I said, I do look at it all as a bit of a Warholian 15 minutes type thing, and I very much doubt that it will last. But while it does, thank you everybody for watching my shit videos, and it's cool. So anyway, we will see you in probably a couple of weeks or so, dependent on Jake's babysitting duties and various other extracurricular activities.
So busy.
Yes, you bloody retired people living a life of leisure.
It's weird, isn't it? It's weird. Yes, if I was still working, I'd probably be doing this more frequently. But things just fill the space. Can't sit still.
Bonkers, isn't it?
Yeah,
bonkers.
Anyway,
we will see you. Yes, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you all in 2 weeks or so.
Bye.
Cheers. Thank you. Bye bye.